Well, everybody, welcome back to State of the Steelers. I'm Daniel, and today we're going to be talking about the Steelers' victory. They win somehow, 17-10 against the Baltimore Ravens. What a game! They win somehow. My bad, y'all. My bad. So the Steelers win 17-10 in a game that I thought was going to be a blowout in the opposite direction pretty early, to be honest with you guys. The Steelers back at it again. Poor offensive start. The defense is looking bad. And somehow, some way, they just kind of stick around, stay in the game, and in the end, come out with a victory. If I told you guys that, before this game, that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to win this game by 7 points, I'm pretty sure you guys would have thought that the Steelers did something awesome and that they were in control of the game. Not really. The offense got bailed out by the defense and special teams. Killebrew came in clutch, but one special teams player I can't talk positively about, and you guys probably know who I'm talking about, Gunnar Olszewski. That guy, he used to be a Pro Bowl returner. That was his job. I don't know what happened to this guy, but he is a turnover machine. He has put the team in multiple games now. He lost the game last year against the Patriots. So horrible decisions across the board when it comes to Gunnar Olszewski. I just do not know why he's still a member of the Steelers right now. But hey, maybe the Steelers are going to, move in a different direction. Houston had like a little bit of he was in the blue tent, so they're not sure. A lot of people are assuming it was a concussion, but he ended up coming back in. So if he did have like some sort of concussion lines, he ended up passing the protocol. But for whatever reason, they didn't have him back there returning punts or kicks. And I think that had a lot to do with because I think he was shaken up a little bit. And, they go throw in Austin back there. Not too pleased with that. Shandon Sullivan was getting beat. I don't understand. I thought we were supposed to see more Desmond King. I thought that was the rumor. He was moved up. We're going to see Desmond King out there. Didn't happen. Shannon Sullivan was out there. But boy, did the outside linebackers come through. TJ Watt wins the game, basically. Alex Highsmith comes in with a strip as well. I mean, dominant performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I thought that when the Steelers put in JPJ, it kind of just changed the whole dynamic of the defense. That interception that he had, was in the biggest of downs. They're in the goal line. If they score, it's going to, put the Ravens ahead by more than a field goal. And the Steelers are going to need to end up scoring a touchdown to win the game. And, the way the offense was playing, it was pretty unlikely. And so, JPJ coming in with the interception, and that was clutch. He knew, and he's going up against, I think it was Odell Beckham. And you have a rookie on him who hasn't played much. So they don't have much tape on Joey Porter Jr., the Ravens, that is. So they don't really know, what kind of player he is. And they challenged him. And I think Joey Porter knew they were going to challenge him based on the fact that he's a rookie and hasn't played much. He knew the ball was coming to him. And man, it was awesome. Football justice. A guy who probably out of the first round because he only had one collegiate interception and showed up today in an awesome way. What's up, everybody in the live chat? Good to see y'all. We have Claude Bishop, Afton Ford, George. What's up, my man? Daredevil, Steelers fan. I bought Rogan a Watt jersey. Rogan's my little girl, and her name's Rogan Page. And I bought her a Watt jersey, and we hadn't put it on her it was a little big, and I think we actually did put it on her in the Steelers one. I think it was for the Cleveland Browns game, but we had on a Steelers cheerleader outfit for her the last game. And I told my wife, I was like, I don't know. I think she needs to wear the Watt jersey. She didn't wear the Watt jersey. Steelers get blown out by Houston. She wears the Watt jersey today. Steelers come in with the victory. First place in the AFC North, by the way, going into the bye. As crazy, disappointing as the offense has been, first place in the AFC North going into the bye. And it also, see, if the Steelers would have lost, that would have catapulted the Ravens because they would have swept the road games in the division. They beat Cleveland on the road. They beat Cincinnati on the road. Had they beat us on the road, I mean, it would have just kind of, the momentum, the confidence and everything would have just propelled them. And I don't know, I think that would have just been very difficult for the Steelers to come back from. And then especially going into the bye like that, it wouldn't have been the Pittsburgh Steelers, pull it off. Let's see. What's going on, Pepper? Steelers Nation all stretched up. Yeah, 3rd and 30. Yeah, I was talking to Mark Davison from Steelers Nation Australia. I was actually on his live show in the comment section. And what I had said was basically that the further the third down, the more likely it is that the opposition's going to get the third down. Man, the Bengals look like they may get upset here in this game too. That would be nice. Burrow just got sacked, 4th down. They're about to punt it back to the Cardinals. That's good. But let's look at the box score and let's look at what happened. So in the first quarter, the Baltimore Ravens scored a touchdown, and they were looking dominant. I'll be honest. It was not looking good. They were moving the ball up and down the field. And our offense just we got a first down, I think. That was the highlight of the first quarter, is the Pittsburgh Steelers got a first down on the first drive. And a first down in the first. But then it just stalled again. The Fire Canada chants were heard loud, clear, and early and often. It's all over Twitter. So the Steelers don't score. The next following drive, the Steelers end up getting 3 points on the board, but so do Baltimore. And then Baltimore ends up they shoot themselves in the foot. They go for it on 4th and 2 right before the end of the half, and the Steelers defense comes through and comes in clutch and ends up getting them to turn over on downs. They go to the half basically down 10-3. There's nobody that scores in the third. In the fourth quarter, the Pittsburgh Steelers come out with 14 points. Now, the safety, that was an awesome play by Killebrew. He's a guy, man. Every year his name comes up as far as who's going to get cut this year, and people are like, "Oh man, Killebrew needs to go. Killebrew needs to go because we can just find another special teams player." Killebrew, he's going to have a position on this team for as long as he's good. Killebrew, yeah, 100%. Gunner shaking my head. Oh yeah, that was horrible. Captain for a reason. Yeah. That's true. So let's look at some of these stats here. So Lamar Jackson was 22 of 38 for 236 yards. He had 1 interception and sacked 4 times for 26 yards. Kenny Pickett, didn't have, his stats weren't that far off. He was 18 of 32, 224 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 3 sacks for 22 yards. And this time, I think he did a lot better job in the pocket this game. Now, was it because of the leg injury and the bruise that kind of forced him to stay in the pocket? Maybe, but I think he stayed in the pocket a little bit longer. He didn't seem as confident though. Still, he needed to regain some confidence there. I thought that the offensive line played a lot better when it came to the passing game. When it came to the rushing game, they were all right. I think that early it was kind of difficult to find some lanes there. But then again, also it seemed a little bit predictable when the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to be running. So when that happens, it is, and it does become, you make it harder on your team when you're telling the opposition that, hey, we're going to run the ball. Like to this point, now I'm going to go back and watch the all 22, and I'm going to watch the game probably a couple of more times. But it didn't appear to me again that they never that the Steelers didn't go under center and do a drop back pass. I think they had a couple of plections, and every other time though was a handoff. It was a run, and it's obvious that the Steelers are going to do that. So it limits what you can do, and it allows the defense to plan for what you're trying to do. So, when it comes to the, Matt Canada isn't a great coordinator. That's it. That's one of the reasons why he's not. He doesn't change it up. He's just so predictable. I understand that every team has like a few plays. It's not like a tremendous amount, right? But that it's what you do with those plays. They have like the meat and potatoes of the play. There's only a few of them. Now you can run the same play out of different formations, different looks, different personnel, things like that. But it's basically the same play, right? And the problem is the Steelers don't do the different looks part of it. It's the same look. It's the same everything. If you see somebody going in motion a couple of times, that's usually, especially if they're under center, that's 10 times out of 10 a handoff. Always. Somebody going into motion, and if they cross back twice, they go once, twice, it's like guaranteed 100% that's going to be a run. So, the Steelers offensive coordinator is not doing the running game any justice or any help there by doing that, but we'll see. I mean, there's no doubt that anybody can say that they did not hear the Fire Canada chants. I'm sure that'll be a topic of discussion throughout the week, and we'll see. There was some rumors earlier today that he was on the hot seat, and that had the Steelers done poorly offensively, that his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers might come to an end. I don't know how true that is. Those are just some rumors that were circulating online on Twitter, so take that for what it is. Let's go to the rushing department here. So Jaylen Warren had 9 carries for 40 yards, 16 yards. Najee Harris had 14 carries for 37 yards. 8 yards was his longest run. George Pickens, they ended up doing a jet sweep with George Pickens, and he gets 16 yards on that play. I thought that was a good use of George Pickens. I think that the Steelers highlighted George Pickens today, and it's about damn time. Like, this is something that the fans have been saying since, I don't know, week 1 of last week. Just throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. That guy will do special things with the ball going to him and in his hands. Just throw him the ball. And the play that ended up scoring the touchdown, the long play, Cardinals just scored a touchdown, taking the lead against the Bengals. Good deal. But yeah, just throw Pickens the ball, and like I said, he's going to come up with the ball, and he's going to end up doing something special. Now, I think this team is really hurting from the loss of Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson was going to be a guy I think that the Steelers were going to, it was going to be that 60% of the offense. Like just like it was when Ben was there and he had Antonio Brown, he had his receiver, and he got dialed in with that receiver, which was AB. I think that was what was supposed to happen with Deontay Johnson, and I don't think that Calvin Austin is that. Obviously, he's got speed and burst and things like that and can move, but he's not the route runner that Deontay Johnson is. And I think there was a certain chemistry built. I think this offense is going to grow by leaps and bounds once Deontay Johnson comes back. I'm hoping it's sooner or later. Kenny Pickett had 6 carries for -6 yards. Yeah, the Steelers defense, I mean, they allowed 125 yards rushing total, but that's not that bad. To be honest with you, with how they played and going up against the team that they were going up against, a team like the Baltimore Ravens that are a heavy run offense. Gus Edwards had 12 carries for 48 yards, along with 11. Lamar Jackson had 6 carries for 45 yards. Now, I thought that Lamar Jackson did him running the ball. He did more damage to the Pittsburgh Steelers than I've seen him do to one of our defenses ever. They usually were able to contain him. Now he'll get out here and there, but he was rushing very well. I'm surprised that the Ravens didn't build off of that and continue that. But then again, there was a play where it was a option pass or option run, and Zay Flowers ended up not getting the ball, but TJ Watt cleaned him out. And I think after that, they're like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore because one edge player is coming for the running back and the other edge player is coming for the quarterback, and both of them are winning, their position. So I think once that happened, I think it kind of slowed down a little bit. But I'm surprised they kind of got away from it, to be honest with you. So one thing that I had seen that I thought that was a huge help as well was Joey Porter Jr. being entered into the game and being a starter. Initially, what had occurred was they put him in on the right side, and Wallace went out, and they had Patrick Peterson on the left corner. And throughout that time, all right, I think I'm back. Let me know if you guys. All right, I'm back again. Sorry about that. Internet just kind of had a break there. Wow, thank you, Ray Martinez. Appreciate this. I'm gonna see if this is working out. I'm just checking my stuff. Let me know in the live chat if you guys can. All right, I think I might be back for good. I hope I am. $49.99. The one time it really pissed me off was when Warren had them on their heels with that tough running for 3 plays, and we were close to the goal line. Should have done play action to someone leaking out the back. Instead, we ran Warren again. I agree with you. I think that's been kind of the issue, right? When it comes to Matt Canada's play calling, is if something works, I get it. You're gonna want to do something similar until they stop it. But this team isn't that dominant of a team right now. They're young and they're growing and they're building together. They're not a team like the 2015, 16 Pittsburgh Steelers, where that offensive line together for a while. They were dominant. They had the chemistry, and they can push people, and they can go up against a team like the Cincinnati Bengals and just run the same play over and over again and tell them what play that they're doing, and there wasn't a damn thing that the Cincinnati Bengals could have done about it, right? We're not there yet. Let's be honest. The Steelers aren't there yet. Could they get there? I think could. I mean, I think they got some pretty good pieces on the offensive line. I think they played better this week. I think they protected better. I think Broderick Jones is definitely an improvement over Dan Moore. I'm going to have to go back through the, the all 22 and make sure that, what I saw on the game was exactly what I saw. But it did appear that, pockets were cleaner, and it appeared that the offensive line in whole did better. I know that Kenny took 3 sacks, but sometimes there wasn't anything down the field. They showed that, there were times where Kenny Pickett missed some reads and he threw the ball inaccurate in a few plays. I don't know if that's just who he is, or if he just got shook right against the San Francisco 49ers. They come in kind of drinking their Kool-Aid a little bit, thinking that they're going to kind of just take what they did in preseason and implement it into the regular season. And then when it just doesn't work out and they get, basically beat down, that tells me that, and since then, Kenny Pickett hasn't been the same. He hasn't. He's been having the happy feet, which was an issue last year, but it seemed towards the end of the year that it was calming down. It seemed like it was non-existent in preseason, but he's gotten it back a little bit. I think this game he kind of chilled it out a little bit. He hung in the pocket. I saw him actually look at a couple of reads. That was kind of, that was different. In the previous couple of games when I would break down Kenny Pickett, one of the biggest problems that I had was that he was staring down a receiver. And there was one either right behind that receiver or where the play was designed, and he didn't see them because he was staring down one route. I saw him move around a little bit. Now, I do know that he missed a couple of plays. I think there was one on the first drive or maybe the second drive, and I'm probably going to do another all 22 video on it. On this play in specific, he threw down to, I think it was Connor Hayward, or it may have been Allen Robinson, on an underneath crossing route, and right behind him in the cover 2 zone, sitting there is Calvin Austin, and he is just wide open. And I saw it from the camera angle that they had on the TV screen live. I'm like 19. But then again, I can say that sitting in the comfort of my living room, watching it on the TV. I don't have 300-pound men chasing me, trying to, break every bone in my body. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference there. But he's a professional, and he gets paid pretty good money to be an NFL quarterback. Now, the turnover situation, the Steelers win that 2-1 as far as like how many times the Steelers actually recuperated the ball, but they caused 4 fumbles. And I believe they had, wasn't there an interception? You know what? This isn't showing the interceptions. That's just the fumbles. Interesting. So they had 2 fumble recoveries. That's huge for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because last year that was one of the things that the Steelers lacked in. I thought they would tell me. Oh, here it is. So the Steelers had 1 interception plus the 2 fumble recoveries. So that's a total of 3 turnovers. So they won it 3-1. And those turnovers came in big moments. Larry Ogunjobi making it down the field and knocking the ball out when Hill has, I think it was like a screenplay or something like that. And he's down Larry Ogunjobi. When Hill catches the ball, Larry Ogunjobi is several yards behind him. Hill goes up running. Larry doesn't give up on the play, comes in, pops the ball. Boom, ball comes out, and Steelers recover it. It was a momentum-changing drive. Like I said, man, the first half, the Pittsburgh Steelers are just not playing their greatest. And in the second half, I think that putting in Joey Porter Jr. kind of changed some stuff. I think it was like a little bit of a spark, to be honest with you. The combination of Peterson and Levi Wallace is just not that good. It's not good at all. You have somebody who don't like, somebody who lacks speed on one end, and another guy who, at one point had a lot of speed and did a lot of great things, for Arizona Cardinals and for the Vikings, but he's way over the wrong side of 30. And I'm not saying he don't got it anymore. I don't think he got it for the style of defense that the Steelers are wanting to implement. So when the Steelers put in a guy like Joey Porter Jr., who's got fresher legs, who's got a little bit of speed behind him, he's not the fastest guy either, but what he lacks in speed, he regains in length, right? He's very tall, lengthy, has super long arms, and so that make that catch radius or that throw radius a quarterback has to throw into that much smaller, right? Because you got to throw it just that much over him or that much in front of him that maybe perhaps in the NFL, when you're trying to get those accurate throws, it might throw off some timing and things. And plus, he's a very physical, hands-on cornerback. That definitely affects the timing in which the quarterback wants to throw the ball. If Joey Porter Jr. is getting up and he's checking somebody at the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback is expecting that receiver to be in a certain spot at a certain time, he's not going to get there. And that's going to end up causing for some delay and perhaps some bad decisions or, a sack. So Steelers had quite a few of those as well. It was a great game for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. As far as that goes, I mean, it did, the Steelers got lucky on a lot of different, the Ravens had like 7 drops. And so, the Ravens kind of beat themselves in that aspect, right? They had 7 drops. A few of them could have been for first downs. I think a few of them could have been touchdowns. So, yeah, kind of in the benefit of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think that goes to home field advantage, right? It was a windy day. They showed the flag out there, and you can see just the flag just waving away, right? And I think it affected both of the quarterbacks' ability to throw the ball. When they would show the replays on the ball traveling through the air, it almost looked like Tim Tebow was throwing the ball. It was a duck. It was a duck on both sides. If Duck was there, he would have shot it. That's how bad it was. And what do you call it? I think that was affecting both of the quarterbacks, and because the ball was just so wobbly, I think that played its part into why there were so many drop passes from the Baltimore Ravens. So a little bit of the element, so to speak. Why pass to Boykin when he can't catch? Should not be in there for the 2-pointer. I agree. But I think that at that time, Calvin Austin was hurt. Gunnar Olszewski was not going to be in the game anymore. I don't think, well, I wouldn't hope. And, I think they were limited. And plus, I mean, it might be a situation like where we've been calling for this, right? Us as a fan base have been saying, let's put some of our big guys in. Boykin, let's put in Darnell Washington, and Pat Freiermuth when he was healthy, Najee Harris. And if the opposition comes in, heavy, we'll spread them out. And if they come in with a package, then we'll run it down their throat. And the play didn't work. Now, do you want it to be somebody other than Boykin? Yeah, 100%. I definitely would. Olszewski, man, that's just too many times. I don't know how he manages to just stay on the team after all the times that he's had, or all the troubles he's had holding onto the ball. It's insane. But I think Joey Porter Jr. stamped a starting position on this team moving forward. He's definitely one of my winners of the game. I think that Quan Alexander showed up. There was a play in specific where he, I think it was to Mark Andrews, and he has the first down if he doesn't come in there and hit him in the legs. I hope you guys remember which play it is. I think it was like on a third down too. And he gets him low, he trips him up, and he falls down. Fourth down, they got a punt. Those type of plays that occurred that occurred really what made the difference in this game. And I'm losing my voice already. It's crazy. I was trying not to shout also during this game because of the baby, but I may have let out a few, as you can tell. Let's see. 100%. Rodney Williams showed up in his first game. Yeah, I agree. We really need DJ back. I think once Deontay Johnson comes back, that's going to put some balance to the offense. I think right now, what the problem is you have a really good option in George Pickens, but I think they want to utilize him in a specific and not in the same manner that obviously Deontay Johnson would be used, because they're different type of receivers. Calvin Austin, he's a guy that just can take the team, take the top off of the defense. I don't know if he's the guy that's going to be running some great routes there. So I think that Steelers definitely need Deontay Johnson. They ended up getting Mims on the practice squad. I would definitely want to see this guy moved up and Gunner gone. 100%. Let me see. But yeah, Steelers came through. I was listening to Steelers Depot yesterday, and it was Alex Kozora, and I think the guy's name is Dave. I could be wrong. Don't catch if I'm wrong. But they were giving their predictions, and I think Alex Kozora said like something about like 17-14 or something like that. And Dave, I'm just gonna call him Dave. I don't know if that's his real name or not. It could be Brian. I don't remember. I'm bad with names. Either way, the other guy said that he thought the war was going to be something like 27-17 or something, right? And he had said that basically, Steelers' offense was lackluster, this, that, and a third. And Alex asked him, what would have to happen if the Steelers were to have won? And he said, the Steelers are going to have to score points on defense. They were going to have to get a couple of turnovers, and something crazy or special is going to have to happen. And those things are exactly what happened. I mean, special teams puts up 2 points. That's still points that the offense didn't put up. And they got a lot of turnovers in scoring position. They put the offense in a really good position. And, if the Steelers had a competent offense, this game could have been a blowout. Just honestly, it's true. Yeah, Dave. Thank you, George. So all those things happen, and sure enough, they did. The Steelers come out and they show up. They get a bunch of turnovers. It was good. I'm going to do some all-22 work. Obviously, I'm going to check out. I'm going to look at the passing game, what went right, what went wrong. I'm going to be looking at the line, see how they improved. And then I'm also going to probably break down the running game for the Pittsburgh Steelers and kind of show the difference between Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Boykin has terrible hams. Yeah. It was Pam. Yeah, it was. Porter Jr. showed he needs more play. I think he's going to be the starter. I think that he's the starter coming from now on. He's going to be the right cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Levi Wallace and Patrick Peterson are going to be in rotation on the left side. I think he's it. I think the biggest thing was that he was supposedly not doing well in the tackling area, but I'm not sure how they would know that too well, because they hadn't been practice up, until Wednesday of this week, and he hasn't been put in a situation where he needed to tackle somebody. So if that was an issue back in training camp or something, let's put the kid out there. I think he should have been out there a little while ago. But he's in there. He's finally there. But like I said, I do want to see Desmond King out there in the slot, because Shannon Sunderland, he could have had 2 touchdowns thrown on him on this game, and he got lucky that I think one was just dropped and the other one was overthrown by a little bit. So it's just that position needs to be changed. Tomlin didn't sound like JPJ would start. I'll be pleasantly surprised if he does. Interesting. He does. He stepped up and he's doing a lot better than what the other 2 guys were doing. I think Canada has been so used to not scoring that this most recent touchdown came as a surprise. Yeah, he didn't have much emotion, right? I think he thought there was a flag or something. It was getting called back. I don't know, but yeah, he's definitely not. The team has struggled scoring. They scored a touchdown today. Kenny Pickett threw a touchdown to George Pickens. It was perfect. He dropped it in a bucket, got him in stride, and George Pickens was able to run it into the end zone. You know, he's sneaky fast, George Pickens. He doesn't seem like a guy that's just blazing out there, right? Like when you see Calvin Austin running, it looks like he has like 4 legs out there because he's moving so fast. It's hard to see him, right? And when he comes to George Pickens, he looks like he's almost jogging, yet he's pulling away from everybody. Like it's impressive. It's impressive. And you know, they need to throw him the ball more. He needs to get the ball more. What nearly every podcaster does not comprehend is this DB core is predicated on 2.2 seconds by these $1 million edge rushers. Right. I mean, I get it. Yeah. But every defense is that way. You know, coverage and pressure go hand in hand. It's 2 slices of bread of the sandwich. You know what I mean? One side and the other side. They go hand in hand. They go together. If you have a 0 pressure, don't matter who you have as a cornerback out there. If the quarterback has all day to throw, he's going to get somebody open. And if you have no corners or no coverage, it don't matter how fast that those defensive linebackers are going to get to the quarterback if he can get it out very quickly, right? The QB, if you throw the ball quick. So I think I think that's in every scheme, but you know, in this specific scheme, it's just not working because of the type of corners we have. You know, I'm not saying either that if we kept Cam Sutton, that it would have been much on what it is now. And the reason being is Cam Sutton wasn't a burner either. You know, he wasn't that burner. Steelers haven't had one in a while. And from what I understand and what I've heard was that's what they were looking for in the draft when it came to a cornerback, is they wanted a corner who can stay with some of these receivers. Like Levi Wallace got burned so bad. He got lucky too. He was on the lucky side of a couple of these balls either being dropped or being overthrown. Because man, there was one play. I think Aguilar had one guy burnt so bad. I think that one was Shannon Sullivan. And I was like, who's that dude? I thought it was a linebacker. He was so burnt by, you know, so slow. I was like, there's got to be a linebacker. And then I saw the number and I was like, you got to be kidding me. This guy can be, you know, a cornerback for, you know, secondary purposes. If you're going to blitz him, you're going to use him in the box to tackle somebody. All right. But if you're going to put him in, you know, in pass coverage, I don't think that's a smart idea. So I think they need to play Desmond King, and Joey Porter Jr. needs to be the starter. We'll see how things go. I mean, we're going into the bye, y'all. Steelers are 3-2 and in first place of the AFC I'm back. I hope it's working. I don't know what in the world is going on. I just want to apologize to everybody about that. It's I don't know why my internet is acting weird, but it's doing its thing. Like I said, the Steelers end up winning this game. We're first in the AFC North, going into the bye. It's a good time to go into the bye because there's a lot of injuries right now, and I think that it's a good time also for Kenny Pickett to get his head straight and just kind of get back into a rhythm. The Steelers play the Los Angeles Rams in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, a better offense can come forward. Let's start making those steps. Last season, it wasn't until after the bye that the Pittsburgh Steelers started to move in the right direction. But my internet is just horrible today. I don't know what's going on with it. I'll be doing some film study and film room type of this week. Please hit that like and subscribe. I apologize for the crappy coverage, but Steelers are in first place, y'all. Here we go.